See?
So, what?
That's how he goes.
What?
Tries to get the last word. It's all good. Let's go. What are we doing?
We're not doing shit until you guys get this shirt thing figured out. Because this
shirt thing to figure out
so quick. Holy shit!
I've never seen people get so upset about his wardrobe selection.
Again, you need to be accurate. Okay. I told you what a Hawaiian shirt is. I read you the definition of a Hawaiian shirt. That's it.
That's what the internet says. Doesn't mean it's right, but okay.
No, it absolutely means it's correct.
Okay, everything on the internet is true. I forgot. My bad.
No, not everything. This specifically, yes.
Oh, okay. The thing that benefits you. That sounds very 2025. So I'll try to get the. Oh, that's right. We're not live yet on YouTube. That's why it's not popping up.
No, we're live as shit.
No, we're live, but like YouTube's not showing live yet because YouTube waits for the actual time to pop up.
It's probably better for the rest of us. Good night, my dear.
You guys see the
Night.
Did you guys see that Hot Toys announced and showed pictures of the studio designed 1989 Batman costume
with all the Hawaiian shirts?
Yeah, they borrowed them from your mom.
Ah!
Yeah. No, I'm being for real. Because the studio actually wanted the gray and blue Batman for the '89 movie. And Tim Burton fought against that, and it came down to Burton reminding them that they agreed to allow him to do a dark interpretation of it, and that he got the final say. And even after the suit was designed, in all black, obviously, because that's what we got in the film, the studio came back and had it colored, right? They didn't color the actual suit, but they took pictures and had the pictures colored, and told him that he should have the suit painted before he began filming.
Wow, why? Ugh.
Because they thought that it needed to match the Batman that was currently in the comics at the time. And if you remember, before the '89 Batman movie, he was still wearing the blue and the gray. It wasn't until after that he went to black and gray and all black.
That's what I was going to say, the black and gray. I do remember the transition, because even in Batman 500, I think, is that what starts Nightfall? Or not Nightfall, Night Quest or whatever?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it. Yeah.
So he's in the traditional gray and blue still.
Yep.
And then when he comes back to fight Jean-Claude or Jean-Paul. When he comes back to fight Jean-Paul is when his outfit is black and gray.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, I can't remember everything. It's been a while, but so everybody, welcome back. It's a great Tuesday evening. We're here back again with Shellhead Toys. It's time for Drinks and Toys, and I want to tell you what, we've got some things to talk about, man. We had a phenomenal fucking weekend. There's so many stories, and apparently this person collects farts, but
what?
I don't know. But we had a phenomenal weekend. I really hope some of the people we made contact with jump on the cast. I'm very excited to hopefully we kind of like, I don't want to say it's not like explode or anything like that, but I really, really want these people that we interacted with. We had a really good time at this show, and we're going to get into that. I really hope that they take it and run with it. I hope that they share it with their friends, because they got to interact with me in the room and what have you. And I spent a lot of time really pushing, the Shellhead Toys and the podcast and all the cool stuff that we do and talk about whatever. So, and we met a lot of cool people. So I'm hoping that takes off in some way, shape, or form. And then there's so many other things to talk about. But welcome back. Here with my favorite counterparts that are arguing over Hawaiian shirts to start. But Johnny, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. This should be a good evening. Wheeze.
What's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot. And Psycho, what's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. You are a connoisseur, I can tell. You can't see it. It's very better that way. So, dude, I'm gonna address the elephant that I would buy as a pet, and that is RetroCon. That was by far the most fun I have had at really any con. And I've been to a bunch, but by far the best toy show, call it what it is, that I've probably ever been to. It was so organized, it was ridiculous. I mean, so organized. Like everything was accounted for. When it happens, you had an itinerary on the back of your badge. Just very, very well done. Everybody was friendly as shit. Everybody was helpful. At no point did I feel like they could have really done anything different. Even when you thought something was going to get out of hand, they squashed it. They just didn't let things run willy-nilly. They really kept everything organized and straight and true. And my hat's off to Ryan, Toy Federation, whoever helps him put it on. You guys are professional as hell, and I got nothing but respect for how well that show definitely went. And I'm sure Johnny probably feels the same.
Yeah, yep, that was incredible. And just the level of like, all the advertisement, everything he did leading up to it, and the word of mouth of other people that have been to the show. And then when you get there, you still, even though you go there, you expect it to be a huge show. You kind of know already, but then actually being there, it still kind of throws you off. Like, you're surprised at how big and how busy it actually was.
Yeah, there was not a minute where you had time to wind down, in my opinion, at least. Like, there was something going on all the time. Like, you had to make an effort to be like, all right, I'm going in my room, I'm closing this door, and I'm winding down, because there was just too much going on. I think you had bad connection. There's just so much going on. And I will definitely say one of the coolest things about this entire show, forget the fact that, you got to meet all these awesome people, but the room swaps were hands down some of the most fun of the entire show. So, like, if you didn't know, Psycho, so what happens is they frown upon it while the show is going on, but sometimes you really can't help that, unfortunately. But while the show is going on, you have your door open, you hang a banner or a sign over the side that says what room you're in. And Scott, welcome aboard. If you're new, welcome to the channel, man. And if you are not, thank you for coming back. I'm sorry we can't remember everybody if you don't talk very much, but welcome aboard, brother. Welcome aboard. So so the room swaps, man. So we had the door open, and it's just like person after person after person wandering in, and they're buying from you, right? It's just that. It's like you're set up at the show, but you're set up in your room, and people are in there just buying stuff, having a good time, whatever, and it's cool. It's a really good time. We have pictures because at one point on Saturday night, you know who Pixel Dan is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Pixel Dan, the guy, is it Adam from Toy Addicts?
Matt.
I'm sorry, Matt from Toy Addicts. And Andy and Travis from Toy Federation. At one point, all of those guys are standing in my room, and they're all looking at toys, they're talking, whatever, having a good time. And then I start BSing with them, and we get a picture, and it's just a freaking great time. They were there for a minute, man. And it was just really cool to talk to them. And then there was one point where I'm standing in the room. I don't know where Corinne went, but I'm sitting there just chilling in the room, and all of a sudden, I see this gentleman walk in, and I recognize him, but I don't recognize him. And he is of some form of Asian descent, and he is standing there staring at my turtles. And I'm looking at him, and he's looking at the turtles, and I'm like, I thought, but I couldn't put my finger on it, that it was Saito, right? The Shredder from the original movie. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to insult him, right? So I'm like, this is my cleverness. He's looking at the turtle figures.
I don't want that. Oh, they all look alike type of insult. Is that what you're trying to say?
Hold on. So I point to the Shredder figure and I go, "Are you partial to Shredder?" And he goes, "It looks familiar, but I don't really know anything about these. What are they? When did these come out? And I go, I'm sorry, are you Saito? And he goes, yeah, I thought you knew. And I was like, no, I said I didn't. So of course I get all starstruck and fanboying, and I'm talking to him, and this is what I thought was really cool. So, guys, I really need to help with this. You guys are collectors. I want to take. This is a gentleman from the last cast. I'm not really sure what he's talking about, though.
He wants all the different iterations of the costumes that they used in the films. We
You'd
were
have to look
talking
it up,
about it
buddy.
briefly last week.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you one way or another. I know some of the ghost face masks are very expensive. So we went ahead and I'm talking to him for like a while, and it's kind of cool because I didn't know his story, right? You just know he's the original Shredder in the first movie. So he's talking to me. He goes, I don't really know anything about this. He goes, everything I did was just in that first movie. He goes, I don't know anything else. So he was telling me how he's living in LA at the time, and he gets a call from his agent, and he goes, hey, I got a gig for you. You want to try it? And he goes, sure, what is it? And he goes, well, you're going to play this ninja guy in charge of a bunch of other ninjas, and you guys are going to be fighting turtles or something. And he goes, oh, it sounds crazy. Yeah, let me go ahead and try that. So he goes, I'm doing this whole thing like I'm talking to these kids, when they're in this thing, and I'm supposed to act like I'm the head ninja guy. So he's describing scenes, and he was so vague and so like indirect about it that I'm just like, he honest to God has no more tied to this than, yeah, I played a guy that was in the movie. I don't know anything about the franchise. And it was hilarious. And like, so I'm showing him like the cartoons, and he goes, yeah, I know there's toys and, there's other stuff about it. He goes, I just don't pay attention to it. He goes, my daughter bought me this figure. He goes, I have a figure of me. He goes, I've got this great big figure of me from the movie. And he goes, should I keep it? And I was like, yeah, why wouldn't you? Like, it's you. You're the Shredder. I'm like, you should sign it and hang on to it for yourself. That's really cool. And he goes, yeah, I just don't really know anything about it. And, it's just kind of cool. And his zero accent, by the way.
Yeah.
Like zero accent. That was the part that threw me off completely. I'm sorry. I stereotyped right off the bat. I'm like, there's no way this dude does not have an accent. Zero. Would not even know one
straight English. Yeah.
Crazy. Like he's talking to you like, what do you mean? I'm not Asian. You're nuts. Like that's the way his voice came out.
So at any point during this conversation, did you think to yourself, like, he's got to be pulling my leg?
No.
Because like I understand, like, obviously, when he did the role, he was obviously much younger than he is now, but he may not have known what it was at the time. But you think he played the role, and all of the attention he's gotten since then, especially say within the past 15 years doing like con circuits, he would have learned a little bit about what he was there for. You think?
Well,
no?
I was talking to him at the table when he was signing some of my some stuff for me, and he was saying after he did the movie, he went on and did other projects and other things, and completely left that in the rearview mirror. He never really looked back on it, didn't kind of stayed like, I guess not to say like ignorant of it. And he was telling me like in recent years though, several different people have been reaching out to him and all this stuff, and he was like, why am I getting so much like, why am I getting so many people reaching out to do like all these cons and this and that? It was around one of the anniversary times, and so then he decided to kind of like I guess look up the character and look himself up a bit. And he was like, he was telling me he was so shocked at like the huge fan base.
Did either of you
and the positive response of people,
Because I remember, I'm sorry, I remember hearing a similar story from I don't know his proper name, his real name, but from the guy who plays Tatsu. Like, because he completely like is off the grid when it comes to like the internet and stuff. So he had no idea what a big thing Ninja Turtles was and how big it's become and like all the resurgence of it. He's had no idea until they were able to finally, like one of his son's friends were able to finally get him in contact with NECA, and they were explaining it, and he signed on to do the figure. But before that, he had no idea because he's not in the realm. He doesn't do the con circuit. He's been on living his own life, doing whatever. You know what I mean? So like, I get that, but like I said, for Shredder, he's been doing the con circuit for a while. You think he would? I would think I would research why everybody all of a sudden loves me and why why I'm going to all these cons signing shit. Why they want my autograph. All I did was play a ninja who, hired little kids to steal stuff.
So, did either of you think to ask him why he didn't do the second movie?
Didn't even get that far. We talked when I talked to him in the room, and it was very intimate because it was just him and I. Mm-hmm. And then my Corinne walked in after the fact and took a picture of us. But it, I say intimate very loosely, but it was a very, very comfortable one-on-one conversation where you had to be there. It's just to see him looking at the toys, you could see in his face, like, what is all this? Like, what are all these other characters, all these other things in front of me? He recognized the Shredder a little bit because he's like, okay, that kind of looks like, and he sees the word Shredder. So he's like, oh, okay. But he has no idea. He asked me what it's from. And I said, well, it was a cartoon series that had come out.
So maybe I'm completely off base. Has he not done the concert? I thought he was doing concerts. Maybe he hasn't been doing them.
No, he said he hasn't been.
Until recent years.
That would make more sense because you think anybody who's going to a con to get his autograph, they're bringing those things for him to sign. You know what I mean? Like the fact that he's like seeing it for the first time is weird to me. But if he's not doing the con circuit, that makes much more sense.
It could have been the other guy, the other Shredder. But no, go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, but he is so nice, and it was really crazy because I was there at 9 on Saturday when VIP doors opened before general admission, and they actually didn't come out there till 10 to start doing pictures and autographs, but he actually came out there a little bit earlier than 10, and so there was no one else there, so it was just him and I just chatting and talking, and then of course he kept asking me about like the Grub Score because I was wearing the Jelly Kill shirt. He's like, what is that little donut thing? And so I was kind of explaining that to him, and then I ended up bringing him down some Grub Sport stuff. But yeah, just a really nice guy. And it was cool to actually have that moment where we're just hanging out talking like before the crowds of people started to line up. And it was great talking to Brian Toshi as well. Like that guy. That guy's a fucking character, man. He's so animated, but he's so cool.
I would have been asking him about Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh yeah,
so that's where I remember him from. Like as a kid, I watched that movie.
Who do you play in that? Because I don't know actor names like that to know.
He plays the Asian guy. Asian guy.
Well, no, Brian Tochi was the voice of Leonardo, but in Revenge of the Nerds, he's the Asian guy that's hanging out with Booger.
Yeah. Okay. As soon as Tony said the Asian guy, I knew exactly who he was talking about. Yeah. Okay.
So,
but no, some of those cons are they're really cool. Like you can meet people, and it's definitely a different experience. Back in 06 or 07, my cousin was working with SuperCon. She'd helped start everything for SuperCon with her friends. And I got to meet Kevin Conroy, and the con was not very big. It was at a Marriott hotel, and there weren't a ton of people there. And I hung out with Kevin Conroy at his table for a good 2.5, 3 hours just talking about stuff. And this was before obviously Arkham Asylum came out in 2009, which kind of reignited the popularity of Kevin Conroy's Batman. But he was such a cool guy and so down to earth. And I remember I didn't have any money or anything because, at the time I was going to college and poor, and I was just kind of talking to him, and he just gave me a bunch of his merchandise that he had and just signed it for me and didn't charge me for it. And he was very cool. And then years later, I think in like 2018, he was back down at SuperCon, and I went. My daughter had just been born, and we met him again, and he remembered me, which was super cool. He's like, hey, didn't like 10 years ago, didn't we spend like a couple hours just hanging out at this con when it first started and nobody was around? And I was like, yeah. And he kind of remembered some of the things we talked about. It was really cool.
So I want to backtrack real quick. So just to finish up really quickly the story with Saito. So to your point, Psycho, I didn't ask him about why he wasn't, cast in Turtles 2 or anything, but I did ask him in the first one because Damien and I, one of our well, first of all, I mean, I saw it as a kid in the theater with my dad, and then I was telling Saito how it was so cool to be able to go back and see it with my kid in the theater. And it's a big deal, man. Like, it was a big deal for me. And again, he's just the sweetest guy. He's just grinning ear to ear, like hearing about, how he was anything to anybody, I guess. But so I asked him, I said, hey, like the stunts, I'm like, there's a scene on the rooftop and my son and I, we love to watch that one scene on YouTube over and over again. It's the battle you have with the turtles. You guys finally, after all the tension in the movie, you finally get to battle. And it's the part where you start coming down off the slow motion and he starts shaking his head. He goes, like he knew what I was talking about. I'm like, this is like 35 years ago, right? And he goes, yeah, he's shaking his head. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like the part where you're coming down. I said, and then you land and they're kind of like, the turtles are kind of like mocking that we got it, we can take him. And you flip your spear, like you flip it over. And I go, did anybody do your stunts? He goes, nah, I just had to practice doing the once in a while just to make sure I didn't drop it. So but he was still matter of fact. It's like I'm talking to anybody else. He's like, yeah, I just had to make sure I didn't drop the thing. So he goes, yeah, he did the flip. And I go, and I have another question. I said, the part where you're sitting in the chair and you're watching April on the TV, and he goes, yeah. He goes, there's TVs everywhere in front of you. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that scene. He goes, yeah, what about it? I said, you throw something at the TV. And I have sworn up and down it's a knife, a dagger. I've sworn up and down that it was a TV remote. I said, what did you throw at the screen? He goes, just a knife. I'm like, but in the scene, it looks like blah, blah, blah. And he goes, no, it was just a knife. They gave me something. I throw it at the TV. He goes, and it was real metal. He goes, I had to throw it and it broke the TV screen. So it was really, really heavy. And I'm like, that is so crazy. So it wasn't like a prop TV. Whatever he threw had to be strong enough to shatter the screen. So I'm like, that is so crazy, man. Like just to hear him talk about it. And then he said to me, he goes, that's not even my voice. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, all the time you're hearing me talk in the movie, he's like, I'm saying the line, but they had to use like
they dubbed it over.
Yeah, some kind of audio filter to make him deeper. Mm-hmm. He's like, so yeah. He goes, I'm going, find her, silence her. But he goes, how I'm saying it to you is exactly how I said it. And I'm like, wow, he sounds really dumb. And they had to take the audio to make it sound like he's going, find her.
Oh, yeah, so they just used it through filters and stuff through an audio program from back then.
Yeah, awesome. It was just funny though to hear him say that. It's like, hey, I'm not good enough to do that. They had to filter me. And then he talks about how he's standing down in the where the kid is getting oh my God, is it
inducted?
Inducted. Thank you. And they put he puts the mask on him and the kid gets up and puts his bandana. He goes, oh, yeah, I'm standing in this basement with all these kids around me. I got to try to be this big bad ninja guy in front of all these kids. And it's just so weird to hear this coming out of somebody's mouth who, when you watch the movie, you're like, that's the guy. Don't fuck with that guy. But in reality, he's like, all right, everybody watching me. All right, everybody's good. I'm just going to move around and look and talk to people. And then he said, there's a scene, which you guys all know what it is, but the kid, Danny, didn't know what was going to happen. So they did it for the suspense, right? So when he catches Danny and he's staring at him and he's like, where have you been or whatever? And Danny goes, nowhere. And he goes, you lie. And the blades, mm-hmm. He goes, when he came out, he goes, he wasn't supposed to be that close to the kid's face. And so it made the kid jump and they didn't tell him that was going to happen. So if you see the scene, Danny goes like this because he didn't know it was going to be like right there. And then, of course, he runs his hand down his body. And he even shows me, he goes, yeah, where I'm going like this. He goes, and then I snatch the picture out of the kid's pocket. And I'm like, oh, man, it's so crazy. He remembers all of that and the lines and everything he did. And I don't know. It was just cool. Very starstruck. And it was just cool to hear those little behind the scenes things. I should have asked him about the garbage truck thing.
Should have invited him onto the podcast.
Agreed.
I don't know if you know how to work a computer.
Wow.
But absolutely, the guy was cool as shit. And then the guy Toshi, there is no denying that dude is Leonardo. You cannot not hear it in his voice. Like when he's talking to you, I'm just like, what is going on? Like it's, I don't know. It's not inflected. Like it's just his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
that
mean,
guy, it's like he's always turned on to 11, man.
Yes.
if you go back and watch Revenge of the Nerds now, you still hear Leonardo. It was the exact. He didn't change anything from the performance in Revenge of the Nerds in '84 to the performance of Leonardo for the Ninja Turtle movie. Like it's all the same.
So we had a dinner. There was like a celebrity dinner, and this is my last part of the story. And then you guys just run with it, man. We'll talk about whatever. I do want to talk about Hasbro because I did talk to some people in my room, and it was a fantastic conversation about Hasbro hating essentially. But so yeah, there was a celebrity dinner, and you know they were supposed to like stick around and have dinner with everybody. It was awesome dinner. Don't get me wrong, but Toshi. Saito stayed, but Toshi and Ken Scott left the room because I guess they had reservations somewhere already. I don't know if they didn't know they were having dinner. I don't know what the whole point was, but so they leave, and the lobby swap starts like right after dinner for the celebrities. So Johnny had already gotten up. They were out in the lobby swap, and Johnny messaged me. He goes, "Hey, they're already starting," and we were kind of just sitting around thinking they were gonna, you know, people were gonna come in. We leave the room, and the lobby swap's going crazy. And so Corinne and I are like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go up to the room. We'll open our doors, so we'll just sell out of the room. We go to get on the elevator, and I'm like, are you shitting me? I see, like, the elevator's like, you know, I'm here at the elevator, and I can see diagonal into, like, the restaurant area. Ken Scott and Toshi, somebody delivered them pizza. So I'm like, I go to Corinne and go, are you shitting me right now? So I go over to the like where they're having like their pizza, and I go, "Really, guys? Are we stereotyping much? You're both sitting here eating pizza?" And I swear to God, it was like mid-bite for Toshi. He's just like, and he's like, "Somebody brought us pizza. We didn't order it." I'm like,
and then Tony walks away. He's like, "Fucking nerds!
I'm sitting
Can't leave us alone."
I'm like, way to stereotype, man. You guys are sitting there eating pizza. Well, apparently Ken Scott is a massive pizza fan, and he eats it all the damn time.
So, who's Ken Scott?
Raphael.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I said I don't like. I love franchises and all these movies, but when it comes to like actor names, I'm very bad with like actor names and like voice actor names. Like I just tell me who the character is, and I got you.
Yeah, I'm like that with some things. All in all, again, it was an awesome show. We made money. It did not cost a lot to be there. I will tell you this, that what it cost me to drive there, get a hotel, and eat was less than what I spend for a booth here at some shows. Let's put it that way. And then, we made as much or more, truthfully. Huh?
So is that shots being fired?
Pew pew. I will tell you that I am absolutely, and I know Johnny said the same thing, absolutely looking into more out-of-state shows, just for the sheer. I'm telling you, interaction with people was so much fun. These were the best people I've talked to in a long time, and they're all like-minded because you're at. Let's put it this way. This was a toy show, like a convention, a show that is 100% geared towards toys. People who are like-minded for toys. This wasn't, hey, we're doing a show this weekend and anybody can go. And so that's what happens. People that aren't even into toys just show up because they need something to do on a Sunday. This was, honest to God, projected, what do you want to call it? Advertised, just infused with every bit of aura that you could want for a toy show convention. There was so much stuff in that freaking place that I could have bought and did not, just because I went there with the intention of having a good time and making some money. I did not want to come back with no money in my pocket, but I could have very easily spent every penny I made because some of the pieces you just don't see in Florida at all.
You guys didn't find me my damn Predator and Alien things, you bastards.
If it
Yeah,
was
I was
there,
on-
Lee's, I couldn't see it. There's just so much shit.
Oh yeah, I imagine. I've heard the show and how big it is. That completely understandable.
Yeah, I was gonna give Tony shit because I didn't get any pictures of Beast Wars figures. Tony's like, oh, when I get there and I see the stuff, I'm gonna send them to you, not a picture. Like
Dude.
I'm like, hey, if you see any Mario toys, let me know. Tony's like, yeah, I got you. Not a message of not a thing of Mario toys. Like, damn, Tony.
Not a
First
fuck
off,
you. What do you
it's-
want? Nothing.
But
There's people
he's got
literally-
time to send three Ninja Turtle video game pictures. It's like, Tony, really? Like,
Fucking savages. Man shows off something he buys. You selling that? I'll buy that. He's just showing
Damn
off
right.
something
No,
he
man,
got.
it was so crowded there though. Like I'm surprised he actually got to take those pictures. I didn't take any pictures. It's just overwhelming the amount of stuff that's there. And then you're trying to walk by and look at stuff. There's things there you kind of want to pick up and take a closer look. There's people bumping right up on you, like
So,
trying to get to that same spot you are.
so
It is
obviously,
crazy.
obviously my internet went fucking haywire earlier and I got kicked and I had to come back in. And it's obvious that you guys had a great time. And things Tony has said about the cost versus cost here, shots fired. I love it. But I know it makes you want to do more out of state shows. Does that mean we're going to attempt to go to Toylanta? Because I've been trying to get you fuckers to go to Toylanta.
I'm
last
actually
year.
I submitted an application for that already. I'm ready to go to that show.
Oh, I'm not even trying to vend. I just want to go to the show. Like I don't give a shit about vending because
No,
What is it?
I want to go then. Yeah,
well, no, I
you're-
get it. You have a toy store that you're doing, and you got Grub Sport. The shit that I sell at our shows is all my personal collection. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time dragging that stuff up there because it's
When
not
is it?
much. I don't fucking know. Ask again. I don't fucking know. No, I honestly have no idea. Off the top of my head, I believe it's early in the year, if I remember correctly. Like
It's in
March-ish.
March.
I think it was around my wife's birthday last. Or
Yeah,
this
it's
past
in
year.
March.
All right, yeah. So same time.
I mean,
But-
if we're gonna carpool, I would go. Depending on the date, right? Because I'm not gonna miss Jen's birthday.
Yeah, no, it was like right around the same time because it was the weekend. This year's was the weekend of Melissa's birthday. So, and I know Jen's like 5 days before Melissa or something. So yeah, it's probably gonna be right around the same time. No, I'm just because I was trying to get us to go to that one, and things just didn't work out. But I think at the same time, you guys were kind of nervous, especially Tony, about out of state shows. So now that you've seen yourself versus just like a Pixel Dan video or a Froggy video, seeing what there's going on out of state versus Florida, like we should definitely, like I said, I'm not even looking into going as a vendor. I just want to go to the shows, like Toylanta. I want to go to Froggy show, HoosierCon. I want to go to that so fucking bad. There's so much cool shit there in the videos. Like I want to go to that show.
So I will 100% tell you this. So I was expecting, and I was completely wrong. I was expecting the comps to be less because theoretically there should be more of those vintage toys readily available in the north. We talked about this before, right? All those
Right.
toys come from attics and basements and what have you. People find them, your grandparents, they're passing or whatever it is, and people are finding their childhood stuffed away in an attic. Where an attic, I keep saying addict. But here in Florida, in Florida, we know that's not the case. We have whatever is circling down here has come from one of two places. Either somebody that moved to Florida when they were younger and they brought all their toys with them and they've just been in storage somewhere down here, or they have migrated themselves down here through toy collectors. That's how that shit's gotten into not even just Florida, right? But the south half of the United States. But Florida, especially because we don't have basements. We're very limited on places to store things. So I expected to see prices lower than Florida, where in reality, and just my experience from what I saw, the pieces that I was looking at, they were more expensive. I don't know if they have a better appreciation or understanding what the actual value is, but case in point, we saw about 13,000 goddamn Jetfires. and some of them very good prices, and some of them a little weird. Saw things like the Monster Face. I should have bought it. I didn't do it, but damn it, I should have bought that thing. There was obscure. I was looking for Wheeled Warriors, and the only person that had any. Well, I bought one accessory set from Joey. That was it. I got to pick it up. But the only person who had Wheeled Warriors was Ryan from Toy Federation. Now he had the playset. Playset was in
Is
that
that the
shape.
one where like it's on the cars are on their feet?
What?
The Wheeled Warriors.
No.
Is that the one with like a robot with like cars on their feet?
That's Voltron. You're talking about Vehicle Voltron.
That's
Wheeled
not
Warriors.
Voltron at all, but okay.
Okay, what is it?
No, I'm not. That's what I'm asking. Was wheeled? There's a line of these like robot type things. It's characters, but their feet are like Hot Wheels cars that roll. It's not
Shogun?
Voltron, huh?
Shogun?
No, it's something from the '80s. Like it's not. It's a obscure toy line. I thought maybe that because Wheeled Warriors would
No,
match.
so-
Like one guy's got like it looks almost like a like fire truck on his feet, and like it's like they look like roller skates, but they're cars and they're attached to robots. It's a weird ass old school line. Pixel Dan talks about them a lot.
Evidently, because I have no idea what you're talking about. But if you put it in my face, I'd probably touch it. So
Speaking of,
I bet you
oh
would.
my god, that guy is so awesome.
yeah,
I
Wheeled
bet you
Warriors
would.
though are these little cars that are organic, and they have saw blades and shit that come off the top of them. But in
Okay.
any case, Ryan had 2 of them in the package, and they were 150 a piece. And it's not that they're real expensive, but those boxes were so sun bleached out that you could barely see the toy. They were so yellow. And really just were not worth the 150 a piece that he was asking, in my opinion.
That's
I
where
would
you
give
just
them-
open them up and like grade them loose.
You would have had to have, open them up and had them graded or something. I saw 2 more that were loose, but they were incomplete. That's just what happens. They're one of those toys that nobody's ever got them. I've asked 1,000 people every time I go to show you, have any Wheeled Warriors? No. And they all say the same thing. It's an underappreciated toy. It was a really cool line. They just didn't make enough of them. But yeah, to Johnny's point, off subject, Pixel Dan was a blast. He was so cool. I showed him my bootleg. Oh, I didn't show you guys. These bootleg turtles I bought. So I bought these,
Oh my!
Careful.
these Mexican
Look,
bootleg
Pixel Dan
turtles.
didn't steal them shits. He loves buying bootleg turtles.
Bro. So they're like 1/6 scale. I paid $80 for the set. And as bad as they are, they're so bad they're good. They're dense as shit. They're solid. They all have the same face sculpt. And this
Oh,
is where they
they're not
take it out of the
Mexican
mold.
bootlegs.
You can feel it, like the plastic right there. That's where it comes out of the plastic mold. Their arms only articulate up and down, and the joint is split in the back of the pad.
What the hell?
It's the same thing with the leg. Look, ready? But I'll tell you this:
So it's
they stand perfectly. They don't fall.
there's no fucking way to have give.
They're pretty hefty. They have some decent weight to them.
So basically, it's
Cool.
like, and the leg, the joint, one half is on the leg and the other half is on the calf, and it just goes like this. That's pretty fucking funny. That's like real basic engineering for joints. That's hilarious.
It's like those wrestling bootlegs Chris found the other day.
Oh, those are bootlegs. Though. Those were in bells. So like those got like a real release somehow. But those things were hideous. Oh my god.
They
God
smell
damn.
too.
So yeah, no, like I said, I want to start going to more of these out of state ones because Hoosier Con, Toylanta, they when you watch the videos, they look like huge shows. And the only thing that I've noticed, and it's only from the video side of it for watching people record, but it's the same thing you mentioned, Tony. The prices aren't deal prices. People either know what they have or they know where they are, and people are there for these, and they definitely price things higher at those types of shows because it's the draw of that show. Whereas some of the cons that or some of the events that we do, it's such a mishmash of different things that you just kind of have to price yourself to get sales, because we have a lot of like what do you call it, like looky loos, or like very people like just buy shit on the whim. They're not necessarily there collecting. Those shows are made for collectors. They know collectors, when they want some shit, they will pay the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Yeah, there's not a bunch of impulse buying. It's people who are there looking for specific fucking things because that's what they collect.
So
speaking of impulse buying, I was actually shocked at how well like little Grub Sport blind boxes and the little capsules did. Like, actually sold out of all my blind boxes.
Hell yeah.
Pretty much I sold like almost all of our coloring books. Almost completely sold out of the capsules. Like, I should have brought all the shirts.
No, Johnny, that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you, brother. That's fucking.
I was just, but I was in shock. I was like, well, I'll take these couple totes of stuff. So on a whim, thinking like, all right, if it moves, it moves. Like, you know, because some of these other shows we've been doing this past year is like, all right, I'll sell a bit here and there.
Yeah, but so like what I would assume, because I wasn't there obviously, but from what it sounds like, what you experienced was your product being in front of collectors who are toy enthusiasts versus randoms who don't know anything, who are like, oh, that looks cool, but aren't there to support, or aren't in that world where they know, oh, we need to support a up and coming line. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you had a great outing for Grub Sport.
To your point, Chris, what you just said, whenever we're at the other shows, we always get the, oh, I had this as a kid. Oh, I should have hung on to this. Oh, this, oh, that. Not once this weekend did I hear somebody go, oh, I used to have this as a kid. Oh, man, I should have hung on to this. I didn't know they were worth so much. Didn't get any of that whatsoever. And there was like a soccer event going on, so there's people everywhere, but not once did I hear that. These were collectors. These were people that were here to buy. They knew what they wanted, and kind of transitions into what I'm going to bring up, which is there was a couple that was in my room, and we somehow got towards the HasLab thing, and we were busting on the Tron HasLab.
Hey, who isn't?
Well, so I wish I could find this couple. They were awesome people. I would love to connect with them. They had great insight. They'd be awesome on the cast. She's one room away. But they were awesome on the cast.
Doesn't mean she doesn't love you. Jesus. What the fuck, Tony?
I know she loves me. I love her. That booty. So anyway, but they were cool people, and I'd love to have them on the cast. They were very insightful. It wasn't just some randomness. So it was funny because I was kind of going back and forth with this guy because that's what it was. The HasLab Ghostbuster car, I sold one. And so I brought two of them with me.
How
what?
They're not out yet.
Yeah, they are. I got two of them. They came in.
The HasLabs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got both my cars came in.
Well, mine haven't.
I haven't got a shipping notice on mine yet.
Yeah, I got them on we left Friday. I got them Thursday.
Hell yeah.
So, but I sold one at the show. So, I'm sitting there and we're talking about, somebody was like, oh, you got the HasLab? I'm like, yeah, I just came in. And as we're sitting there talking, somebody said something like, well, at least it's not Tron. And I was like, that was such a bust. I'm like, who the hell sat down during the meeting and said, we need to do Tron of all things. We need to make HasLab Tron. And somebody said, well, one guy was like defending it, like, well, if I'd gotten more bikes or I'd gotten this or I'd gotten that, it would have been something I would have backed. And I'm like, but would you really? Because again, at the end of the day, what does the bike do? How much articulation is there? It's just the bike and a person. It's not like G.I. Joe or the Star Wars where they're interactive toys that you can do something with, or Transformers you can transform. This is one of the few HasLabs, in my opinion, that was just that. Here's a bike that does nothing, and here's some characters to put on a stand.
Like, my real thing with the HasLab, the price they have for it, I almost feel like that would be more of a price point if it was 6-inch figures and the bikes were in scale for 6-inch figures, right? I think you'd have a much more copacetic agreement across the world. Like, okay, that's a fair price. We're looking at 5 3 3/4 inch figures and 2 bikes that maybe, if they saw a retail release, would be like $40 a piece. Like, yeah, it was way overpriced for what you were getting. At least like make the bikes and the fucking figures light up when they stand on the base or something. Like, give it something cool. Like, nothing. Fucking nothing.
So that bled us into the whole Hasbro conversation about everything and how Hasbro's just making really bad decisions. And apparently they are, and you can Google this, apparently they are going to be raising their prices again. Yeah. Raising their prices again for figures, toys, whatever in the store, by a certain percentage. I don't remember if they told you how much, but they did say they would be raising prices. They gave examples of if something is $26.99, it would be $29.99 now, so on and so forth. So I'm thinking, okay, 29. So how many of those Transformers that were already expensive at 26 are now going to be 30? And then how many of like the G.I. Joe? Didn't those, not the classifieds, but didn't the classic series, is that what they were called? Like an oversized G.I. Joe 3 3/4 in a bigger card. Am I wrong? Does anybody have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
I think I've seen what you're talking about, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay. But you've seen them though, where it's the larger.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a 3 3/4 Joe, it's just larger.
Okay, so it's the classified series.
It's not classified. So you have the classified series, and then you have, they put it on a card back.
Like, it's the classified figures, but they're on the vintage cards.
Yes, essentially.
Yeah, yes. That's the line. That's what essentially saved Joe. Versus them starting to do those. That's what saved the classified line, was those figures.
Okay, I didn't know that, but so essentially they're saying those figures that were 26 now there's going to be $30 a piece, which is a lot of fucking money. So we were talking about that, and I was like, I don't think Hasbro needs to do any of this. I think it's just straight greed from Hasbro's part because nobody else is making, they don't have the licenses to do what they're doing, or they're not making the same, dime store toys or whatever to throw on shelves. And I think it's just Hasbro being Hasbro. They don't need to do this. They just keep raising the price for whatever reason.
Because they own everything.
Well, and if it's to cover their bad decisions, right? Oh, we invest all this money, we put out this toy, it doesn't do well. Let's raise the prices of these other toys that we know do sell, and go from there. And so then I brought up Valaverse, and I said, this guy is going to be the savior of G.I. Joe, potentially, by making figures that are of the same quality or better as Hasbro, yet at way less of the cost. And he could essentially, it's going to sound so bad, and I'm so sorry, and I don't want to offend anybody, essentially rip off the line. You could make a just a different version of every single character, just enough where it's not copywritten, and save the Joes. Or pick up like they stopped doing Python Patrol, they stopped doing Tiger Patrol, or Tiger Force and Python Patrol. They stopped doing both of them in the classifieds line. They haven't come out with a figure in either one of those areas, I think, since like March of this past year. We've not seen shit. And now they're making whatever. I don't know if they finished yet. Did they finish the Joe movie? Because they did I Once Was a Man. They did like Cobra La, like all the people from, the Cobra. You guys don't watch any of this shit?
No.
Oh, well, continue.
No, so
just tell me to stop because I'm like explaining the world and you guys are just like, I don't know, are we done yet? But
we don't fuck around with Joe's. Sorry. No, the thing with Joe, because like the price point has gone up across the board, right? Marvel Legends, people are starting to, $26, $27 for a Marvel Legend. Some of the bigger ones, $60. So yeah, the price point thing is real. But correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny, because I think you would know best. I know originally Vala said that he was trying to lower prices, and he lowered them to $27, and he was trying to beat Hasbro when it came to prices. But I've been seeing a lot of his current stuff popping up, and they've been in the $30 mark. Like his prices seem to have gone up. Now, I don't know if that's him or if that's who's, if it's the third party companies that are supply. Like, I don't know, but it seems like his prices have even gone up as well right at the moment.
Like on like his website?
No, other like through like Big Bad and all that. Like
That
even
could
on
be
his
them
website,
just
I was seeing some figures on his website for even $32 for like basic his I guess smaller box figures. It may be a
I mean,
certain ones,
that
and
could be
I'm just
them
not
doing their
familiar
markup.
enough to know like, oh, this is a special version that's a little bit more money. But 'cause I know he was trying to lower price, but what I've seen is like the prices
Was
seem
it
to have
like
gone up.
the date that new one that was an exclusive for like Titan Toy Expo and Legion's Con that
No,
Dave the
because if,
Dead
if it was if it was anything, I mean, maybe, but if it said anything about like exclusive, I would know. Okay, it's exclusive. That's why there's a price difference. Like that's not something I would pick up on. It was just like from what I saw, people were using it to compare to uh another line. Like, oh, look at the price. I think it was for Legions, like comparing his prices to Legion prices.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, but like the Valiverse, like, I thought he was supposed to be going down. Like his prices have gone up as well now. Like still on par with Hasbro, it seems, but like kind of it isn't going down
Do you
anymore.
do you happen to know what was the name of the figure that?
Fuck no. Yeah, I paid attention to that.
Did Valiverse make Robo Skull?
Make what?
Robo Skull? Is that what that big?
That was ramen,
No.
wasn't it?
No, that's a different company.
Wasn't ramen?
No,
Oh,
But wasn't that a Valiverse toy?
no, it's not.
yeah, that's
But it's a
not
European
familiar
GI
with-
Joes, right, or whatever.
All right, so the latest release is $29.99. It's a Sidewinder Day of the Dead. That was an exclusive for well, I don't know if it still counts as exclusive because it's now on the website. It's the same price though, $29.99.
I said, I don't know enough about him, but I just noticed that people were showing the pictures, and it was from the Valiverse site that the prices are up. But he's also a small company, so like it makes sense. Yeah, it wasn't that thing. But
Let me look on Big
I mean,
Bad and see.
like I said, it is what it is. But it was just something I thought was interesting when it came to Vala.
Well, so that couple, they had a lot of the same thoughts that Valiverse was going to be the savior of Hasbro, just because of the stupid things that Hasbro's choosing to do. For whatever reason, they think they can get away with it. I don't know, man.
They can get away with it. They are
But-
getting away with it, and they will
the
get away with
question-
it.
But you say like maybe I just need a better idea because you're saying like they're saying that there would be the savior of Hasbro. How does it be a savior of Hasbro?
Okay, so maybe the savior of GI Joe.
Okay, but even then, like, how would he? I guess I'm not equating how Valiverse would save GI Joe.
If you have, let's say you have, so Hasbro's put out a good 60% of the GI Joe line, figure wise, I should say, right?
Okay.
Probably get 60% of the line. There is nothing that says that Valiverse couldn't. The normal collector couldn't just say, okay, everything else that comes out from GI Joe, it's kind of like Turtles. It got to the point so far into GI Joe that it just got to be where nobody wanted those figures anymore because they started getting so ridiculous, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
the Joe line could
Um,
eventually, unless you're a completist, the Joe line could eventually fizzle out where it's like nobody's really going to buy those anymore. You don't have any good characters left unless you start making, I don't know, but you introduce the Valiverse figures that scale with the classifieds, the same style. Who's to say somebody doesn't just start buying Valiverse and have their own Cobra, but it's not Cobra, group of people to
Okay.
battle against their classified Joes?
All right. No. Got
So
it.
are you talking about like doing like third party like Ramen does?
Like the noodle
You
company?
know how they did the Centurions, but it's not officially Centurions.
Well, no, because
Yeah, same thing, really, essentially.
okay, because that's what I was trying to figure out what you meant by like how he's going to save Joe, and the only way I can see is that it just gives people that are buying Joes more options, which might cause them to buy more Joes.
No, I mean
No, but it'll keep the line from being irrelevant, right? Like,
yes.
I guess the argument that Tony is making is that people are going to stop buying Joes because they are too expensive, and that expense could kill the line, except for this other guy is making G.I. Joe figures that are not as expensive, allegedly, because you're saying that they are more expensive. And that's what's going to keep people interested in having the G.I. Joes, because that's what's going on.
Right, no, that's why I said that it kind of caused people to buy more Joes because they're also buying the Valaverse, was expanding everything. That's why I was just trying to figure out how we would, like, what we mean by that he could save G.I. Joe. That's what I was trying to
it could go one of two. It could go one of two ways. I say the savior. It's really not savior of G.I. Joe. It's going to be more. When I say that, I don't mean in the terms of saving Hasbro. I mean that in the terms of saving the collector. Because gotcha. If the Valaverse guy makes anything that even looks remotely G.I. Joe-ish...
Oh, everything.
There's nothing keeping the G.I. Joe collector from purchasing a figure that they could very well, in their head, like, man, I could totally see this in the G.I. Joe line, and they're getting it for less than a classified pricing. Because, again, just like Turtles, just like Transformers, everything at some point, what happens, right? The reboots are not, I don't say the reboots, but the ideas start getting stale.
Yeah.
And you're running out of people. And so now you go from, like even if you ever watch Toys That Made it's best explanations I've ever seen. They're talking about Transformers, and they're like, the toys started getting weird. And it's like, hey, this is something that turns into a tank and a laser cannon. And they're like, what?
Yeah, it's that moment where it's like, it seems like people run out of ideas, but at the same time, they're overthinking the ideas.
100%. Regardless, the line has seen its day. It's like, you got to let it go. It had a great run. Go out on a bang, whatever you got to do. And the same thing happened with Turtles. The same thing happened with G.I. Joe. Turtle sales started to decline. They started to hit clearance shelves because how many times can I buy Raphael dressed as a fucking baseball player? I mean, that's what happened.
You would absolutely buy it once.
I'm just saying, but that's exactly what happened.
I mean, he would buy it thrice.
Yes.
Well, you need one to show, one to keep, and one for
Tony would be like, hold on, how many people play on a baseball team? That's how many I need.
Isn't it 9?
I feel like there's a lot more players than 9 on a normal baseball. On a field at a time, yes, I believe it's 9. But I mean, just in general, I need a whole roster.
I feel like my point is very valid right now, but I mean, you have to think about it like that. So it was, you had Raphael, and then you had 10-back Raphael, you had wacky action Raphael, you had head dropping Raphael, you had mutating Raphael, you had Raphael in gunslinger outfits, you had Raphael in I think he was an Indian at some point. You had Raphael who played baseball, Raphael that played soccer. You had Raphael that was in scuba gear. I mean, like 15 Raphaels, and I'm sure there's more I can't even think of right now. But it was Raphael after Raphael. How many adaptations can you have before it's like it's done? The line is finished. We don't have anything else to make. And then Scratch, I don't know if he's part of the last line. I know he's the later in the line. I don't know if he's the last run of figures to be made. Not the last, but you know what I mean? Well, hold on. I'm talking about that wave. Is he the last wave? I only collected up to the 1994 Sports Turtles as a kid.
Scratch is part of the wave, the last wave that had a bunch of original character designs. After that, majority of the figures were the wacky variants, this and that.
I thought a lot of them were re-releases as well.
There were some re-releases, but it was a bunch of variants. As we started getting like the caveman turtles and like the suit, like started getting those weird one-offs variants.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the last run of Turtles was, what the last wave, released was or what have you. But just like anything, the Transformers, they had the same problem. It got to be where the toys got stupid. No other way to say it. They just got stupid. People stopped buying them. Turtles, they just got stupid. People stopped buying them. It wasn't the hype. It was that they ran out of ways to keep you engaged. So I think there's a difference there between that and hype, because hype is hype. Hype will stay where it is if everything is relevant and it's exciting. But when you keep regurgitating the same thing over and over, that dies away. It's not interesting anymore. If you can't be original, it loses its luster.
Yes, that's true, but the hype also is a big factor because the turtle hype has definitely died and come back and died and come back several different times over. Like every time the new generation gets their own version of turtles, then you have a new wave of the hype, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think the turtle hype will ever be as big as it was in the early 90s with the first movies and the cartoon. Like they've gone longer now because they keep pushing out more stuff, more like new versions for people to get into. But I don't think the hype, the turtle hype, isn't anywhere near as what it was back then.
I'd agree.
It's just not. It's not dead, but it's not like it fucking was. Like
No,
remember,
I agree.
like Turtles was people were fighting each other for Turtles in the 80s. Like right after what Cabbage Patch Dolls the next year, people were in the aisles of Toys R Us trying to ninja chop grandmas for Turtles. Like you don't see that happen with Turtles now. Like,
But you don't see that happening with anything now. It's not just
Right.
Ninja Turtles. Like,
tell that to all the guys who are buying like sports cards and Pokemon cards the past 5 years.
I mean,
That
those
were,
aren't
getting
toys,
body
but
slammed.
sure.
They were getting body slammed through like Target fucking tables. Like the point,
Again,
like
those aren't
it does-
toys, but sure.
yeah, but it's still a collectible. It's in the same realm. It's still in the same world. It's just that's where it's gone right now. So it does happen still. It just hasn't happened with any action figures at the moment, right? But it could still come around. Like what in the '90s they were doing that shit with Elmo, right? The Tickle Me Elmo.
Power
The mid to
Rangers.
late '90s. No, but the Tickle Me Elmo was after Power Rangers, and people were like attempting to murder others to get their baby a fucking Tickle Me Elmo. Like it happens. It's just I think right now what happens a lot is that because of the internet, that things are much easier to acquire without going in store and fighting each other. You go online and fight with each other online and bots to get shit. So you don't it's not as common in store because there's so many more ways to get it now versus what it was in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But there's still definitely people like you see people showing in groups that like the new wave of Marvel Legends came out. Like, oh, I went there and the scalper, this and that. A lot of them are just telling smoke stories. They're like, oh, I grabbed them from the scalp. Like, but the idea is still out there. It's just not as big. But it's people still get violent over these fucking things. You remember the video that came out? It was a couple of years ago. It was a guy stealing. I feel like it was Star Wars figures. He walked in and grabbed like 7 Star Wars figures and like ran out of a fucking Walmart and got chased and tackled by their loss prevention. Like, these fucking people are stupid.
Yeah,
It's
the Black
happening.
Series. Nobody wants the Black Series.
I mean, somebody must. They still make them shits.
I did get my email. I didn't see it, but I got my email on Friday for my HasLab Ecto ones, but they're not coming until next Monday for some dumb reason.
Well, shipping.
I mean, except for
Perfect
they all
timing
come from
for
the same
Tony.
place that Tony got his already. So,
Well, yeah,
Right.
but remember, not only you, me, and Tony bought them. Like thousands of
understand
people
that.
bought them. Like they'll come. It's okay. Of course, Tony would get them first. The one who doesn't give a shit about Ghostbusters would be the one who gets them first.
Yeah, and of course they're gonna come when I get back to work because Mattel is stupid. But okay.
Yes, Mattel is
Make sure somebody's home. You got to sign for them, or you got to like release the signature.
fucking Mattel bastards screwing up Hasbro's deliveries. Fuckers.
It's very angry.
I mean, he's the one blaming other companies for shit, not me.
Yeah.
So, so quick question: what's going on with Collector's Hideout this week?
We're talking top 3 favorite personal comedy movies.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Tony won't show up.
Tony's gonna be there. Why do you keep thinking Tony's not gonna be there this week?
That's all right. You won't show out.
What?
Like he was dead set last week. Tony won't be there. Like Tony, he wasn't here last week. He was not here this week. He'll be here next week. No, he said he's not. Like he fucking will be.
So 2 weeks ago, 2 Thursdays ago was Corinne and I's 5 years, so we weren't around. This past Thursday, there was no way in hell I was staying up till 11 o'clock to do a podcast, knowing my ass had to be up at 2:40 in the morning, like 4 hours later. No, I went to bed at like 8 o'clock. Corinne and I laid there like fucking 10-year-old kids trying to get to sleep at 8 o'clock at night. She's like, "You still awake?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still awake." Like,
So
we're trying to go to sleep, so we had some sleep for the the day.
the Mario Brothers episode was good. The movie, it was shorter. Like for the Mario Brothers conversation was shorter than we expected. Well, I thought it would be until I watched it. Then I was like, "Oh, this won't be an hour conversation." Then we went on to the Predator Badlands. We got into that. And Jose or some Cuban guy jumped in and joined us. That was cool. But this week coming up, it'll be tomorrow night. So it won't be Thanksgiving. It'll be tomorrow night. And we're doing the top 3, your personal top 3 comedies. Because I feel like
Comedies,
all
right?
comedies, yes.
Okay.
Ha-ha-has, funny movies.
Well, I half me heard comics, so I was like, okay.
Comedy movies.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, because in my mind, the same way with horror, you, Joe, and I all had very broad, different tastes in horror movies. So it was none of us copied each other, right? It was all very opinionated, but it was fun to do. I feel like we're all very different when it comes to comedy, and I feel like it can be very interesting and open our eyes to some new stuff that maybe we haven't seen before. So I think it should be fun. I'm excited.
Sweet.
Because
All right, cool.
Tony
Well-
wanted to do the top Thanksgiving movies, and I still don't know of any other Thanksgiving movies besides Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving. Oh, and
Thanksgiving's
Poultrygeist.
great.
I'm sorry, Poultrygeist. I had to
Poultrygeist.
look that one up. So, like, that's fucking it.
Well, I'm gonna say I have to still work tomorrow, unfortunately. So,
yeah, so do I.
let's go ahead and call it. It's 10 o'clock. It was a good run. I think we got some good stuff out. Anybody got anything they want to plug? Giggity. Got a Pandora's box in your hand?
Oh yes.
Ooh.
You want to see some shit? I can show you some shit. Bro, I found this at like one of those bin stores where like you go in, they have like bins full of like different, like each day is a different price. Everything in the bins is like $5, $4, $1. Yeah, I found this in a fucking bin store for $1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
destroy the
was sitting
planet.
there like
and
I'm like fucking with it, like I can't get it to open. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's just like a paperweight. And then like the owner, his daughter was there. She's probably like 7. She grabs it. She's like, no, you just go like this. And she slides it open. I'm like, oh, that's it. We're dead. Like this bitch just released him. We're fucked.
you don't know how to do it, you crazy American. She go, oh.
Psycho's not amused.
Well,
He
If,
might not
if-
know the reference to it. He's not a horror fan. So
Oh,
he might
that's
not
true.
know, to be honest. It's
well,
Hellraiser.
listen,
Psycho.
I know
We
what
have
it is.
such delights for
Okay.
you, sir.
Yeah, I know he's not a horror fan, so it wouldn't surprise, but apparently he does know what it is, so even better.
let's go ahead and cut it. And I will say, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I think it was a good time. Talked about a lot. Very excited about the show. Would love to go again. We will go again. And now, knowing what we know, we will definitely
Well-
make an effort to be there longer.
I know maybe you have to look into this, but we're definitely going to be J5 Toys is definitely going to be at Retro HorrorCon vending. So
Yes, you had mentioned that. I thought about it. I'm going to look into it and see if it's something that I would even have enough to take part in.
Now, Johnny, you can answer this hopefully. Are they being strict on what's actually allowed at that con?
no.
Okay.
So it's basically it's still all the same things, but it's a little more horror focused. But
So all
a
the
lot of
guests are
stuff
going to be
that-
horror while everything else is the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, if it's at the same place, is it the same place?
Yep.
Yeah, everything says that that'll be awesome. I'm telling you, those room swaps, it was crazy. It was crazy the way people just like in and out, man, just having a great time looking for stuff.
Hell yeah. When is it?
So that one is hold on. I have the date right here because I had to get stuff together with the hotel for it. That one's gonna be September 11th through the 13th.
Oh, I got a while to
Nice.
figure that out. Okay. I thought you were gonna say like next month. All right, cool. No, fucking
No, there's plenty of time.
less than a year.
All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming out. We had a great time tonight. We will go ahead and see you guys tomorrow night for Collector's Hideout, where we talk about our 3 top comedies, apparently.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to have to sit down and figure that shit out because I've seen a lot of stuff that I think is hilarious. And I know I'm going to say something and be like, no, actually, I should have said this movie.
So
So
pick
I'm gonna have to do a
three. So pick 3 movies and like 2 runner-ups.
Yeah, that's probably easily done. I can do that right now. But yeah. So guys, thank you so much for coming out, peoples. If you haven't watched us before, hopefully you're liking and subscribing. I don't see very many people in the chat. One of collectors, and looks like we've lost some people. People have gone to bed, whatever it is. But thank you everybody who came out tonight. We had a great time. I am gonna go ahead and kill the live stream. No capes.